Hello everybody, welcome to another video. So this tier list is going to be ROM hacks that I've played. Uh, so basically what I wanted to do here, I wanted to change it up a little bit, go away from the main series games, go away from just like the ranking of actual Pokemon and talk about some of the games that need a little bit more attention. Obviously I can't really share download links to them. For those you want to play that I talk about. And these are only the games I've played, so I'll say this again at the end of the video, but if you have any suggestions for ROM hacks or fan games for me to play, definitely let me know, because I'm always looking for something new in this series. But with that out of the way, I'll talk about the tiers first. So, play these right now is pretty self-explanatory. You're going to want to play these as soon as you can. Good is like I finished the game, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like perfect by any means. Meh means that I finished it and I thought it was okay, or I didn't finish it, um, but like I could have, I guess. I didn't finish it, but I could have, but I just chose not to, and then couldn't even finish as games I will never finish because they are really bad. Okay, so we'll start with Renegade Platinum. I'm gonna put it in good. So Renegade Platinum is a platinum ROM hack. It is a really good game. It's an improvement hack, so it basically just kind of improves quality of life and Pokedex and everything like that for Platinum. That's a lot of the games on this list are just improvement hacks, but Renegade Platinum is one of the better ones. The only reason I'm not putting it in play these right now is I feel like for you to be in that category, you kind of have to go a step above what like the standards are. And Renegade Platinum just kind of hits all the check marks and is an enjoyable experience, but it's not above and beyond. It's kind of more just like a good solid game to play. I'm gonna put Fire Red Omega in the same category. So this hack was made by Drayano. He's a very famous ROM hacker. He's very good at what he does. This is one of his earlier works, if not his first work. So it's a little bit different from the rest of the games that he's made that you'll probably see on this list, like Sacred Gold, Volt White, etc. It's a little bit less of an improvement. It is still definitely an improvement hack, but it goes in a little bit different of a direction. And I believe maybe he said he's working on a remix of it. I don't know if he said that. I could be completely wrong, but Fire and Omega is a solid play. There's new areas. You can catch all the legendaries. There's a widely increased Pokedex, but again, it kind of just doesn't go that extra step that I feel like you need to go. But yeah, it's definitely a solid ROM hack for sure. Gaia, that's gonna go in this tier. Gaia is excellent. I've played through it a few times. There are a lot of really good mechanics in the game. There's infinite TMs, which I really like. The story is really good. The region is really well designed. There's no Fakemon in it, but it doesn't really need it. The Pokedex is really wide. The sprite work is really good. Everything you could ask for out of this game and more, it just nails. Like it's very very good. It's probably gonna end up at like the bottom of this tier because it doesn't bring the same amount to the table as some of the other play these right now kind of games. But overall, it's definitely really good, and I think you should play it right now. Okay, Liquid Crystal. I'm gonna put it in meh. So I did finish Liquid Crystal. Like I said, some of the games in meh I will have finished, some I will not have. Liquid Crystal I have finished. I played through it once. I didn't love it. Putting Gen 2 in a Gen 3 engine, it was cool novelty, but it doesn't really do anything to super improve the Johto region, I guess. In my opinion, I mean, the thing is with these is they could have made changes to the games that I'm not fully aware of. So again, if any of these games that I rate poorly have made changes that go against what I have to say, definitely let me know, and I'll be more willing to give them another try. Um, yeah, Liquid Crystal just it didn't really seem like it was anything special at the time that I played it. It was kind of just the novelty of having Johto in the Game Boy Advanced engine, which is cool, and they did a good job with that aspect of it. It's just that's kind of it. Naranja couldn't even finish it. Pokemon Naranja it A requires cheats, which is like not something that I really like using all that often, and B it like I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm not fluent in Spanish. That doesn't really take away from the game itself, but I couldn't finish it because of that. There's a lot of sections in there where I just can't really understand what's going on. There's nothing really special about it. Doesn't really change all that much. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Couldn't finish it. Didn't try to finish it. Wasn't really into it. Chaos Black is going to go in the same category. This is actually the first Pokemon ROM hack I ever played. I got it on a hacked Game Boy Advance cartridge that I still have to this day. Another game where you have to cheat to get past certain areas because for some reason they didn't really think about that when making the game. The Fakemon designs in it are like fine, but they're really not a reason to continue playing the game. Nothing about this game really stands out. It's just another Fire Red ROM hack that I happen to have played. The thing is with a lot of these is I do my research, so if I find a game, most likely I'm gonna play it because it's good. But some have definitely slipped through the cracks. Like I played Chaos Black for the first time when I was probably 11 years old, and again I played through it again when I was like probably maybe 16, so a few years ago, and that it didn't really change my opinion of it much. So yeah, like some things will slip through the cracks because I'm not perfect. But yeah, Chaos Black couldn't finish it. Quartz is gonna go into meh. So Quartz was really like one of the first, probably the first ROM hack I ever found out about. It's like the it's the OG, like it was kind of the first game I believe to have fake mon of any kind in the hack. So it's cool for that. But I mean, I finished it and I played through it and it was fine. But it didn't particularly age well in comparison with other ROM hacks. It just doesn't really hit the same as it once probably did for those who are like, oh wow, these are like fan made Pokemon, holy cow. But it's definitely playable. I think if you have if you have a chance, you could use to play it just to kind of get a sense of what Fakemon was like back then, and it's not a bad game. And if you really want to play a game with Fakemon, and you've played through the other popular ones, might as well play through Quartz. Like it's not that bad. Radical Red, definitely play it right now. It's so good. It's so good. Every updated mechanic, like there's raid dens, mega evolutions. Um, there's ways to reset IV or EVs. There's challenge modes. There's randomization in the game. Like it's crazy how much has been put in. I believe Skelly's the creator of Radical Red, so shout out to him for Radical Red and for another game that we'll get to on this list. But Radical Red was one of the most enjoyable experiences. It's super challenging. It's super fun. It's a great twist on Kanto. It's maybe the best Kanto game that there actually is on the planet. So good on you. Excellent game. Play it right now for sure. Red 721. So it's an interesting case because this is closer to like just a randomizer than an actual ROM hack, but I put it on here because it does have like custom sprites and things like that. New moves, new types, all those kind of things. It's basically just playing Red with the first 721 Pokemon, but it's randomized, so you can set it to have either 151 or 251 in the game. It's basically just a randomizer, but it expands on the original Kanto games, and I think it's really good. I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it every time I've played through it. The Pokemon that weren't introduced in Gen 1. Being in Gen 1 is definitely a really cool novelty, and because of the amount of Pokemon, like every single playthrough of this game is going to be different, which I really enjoy. It's hard for the rest of these. Oh, speaking of randomizers, Gaia has one as part of its build too. But anyway, Red 721 definitely a different experience from the rest of these, but something I thoroughly enjoyed. I think it's one of the more unique ways to play through Kanto. Sour Crystal. Ooh. Sour Crystal was so good. I'm gonna put it. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in play these right now. This is probably the game that is making me never want to pick up a gold, silver, crystal cartridge again in my life because I could just play Sour Crystal. Like, it's really that good. It's an improvement hack of Crystal. It may not bring a ton to the table from like a new stuff standpoint, but it's just such a well done and refined and fixed version of Gen 2 that I can't put it anywhere but in the play these right now category. If you want to play Gen 2 and have it be like just a better overall experience, but have it still be like the original games, Sour Crystal is the best way to go in my eyes. Quick shout out to Crystal Clear. I haven't played it myself, but I've watched playthroughs of it. It's like an open world Johto game. I think it's definitely a cool concept, but I haven't gotten around to playing it yet. I've had other things to do. I'm a busy person. So in an update of this that I might eventually do once I play more of the ROM hacks that you guys suggest or that I find on my own. Crystal Clear will probably be on that update because I do want to play it. I just haven't gotten a chance to. But anyway, Sour Crystal, definitely really good. Pokemon Sweet. You know, I'm gonna put this at good, but it's probably at the bottom of good. I played through it and I definitely really enjoyed it. The new type system with flavors and all the redesigns of the Pokemon from there was more than just Kanto, but there are a lot of great redesigns in this game. And again, the new type mechanic with it being flavors is really cool. The world design is really cool. It's just a kind of a buggy game. So if you're prepared for that and you can play through that, this is like a very good game. It's very unique. It's very fun. The story is like pretty good, pretty solid. So I really like Sweet. If they fixed kind of the bugginess of it between Sweet and Sweet Tooth, which I haven't played, but again, I've seen a playthrough. Something I will probably play at some point, but it's pretty buggy, so like I'll have to be careful. But anyway, Sweet, if they can fix the bugs, would probably be in the play right now because that's the only problem I can think of. But that's a pretty significant problem. Sacred Gold. I'm gonna put Sacred Gold in the good tier. So, like with Sour Crystal, this is probably the definitive way to play through Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Not really Gen 2, but that's technically Gen 4. So, Sacred Gold and Storm Silver because they're pretty much the same. They are really good. Drayana did a good job with these games. They kind of feel a little bit unfair at certain points, especially if you're trying to do a Nuzlocke, which I would say that most of these games, looking at the list, I have Nuzlocked. Besides Radical Red, I couldn't do it for Radical Red. That's too much of a commitment. Sacred Gold was extremely difficult. It took me very many tries to get it. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, it's a little bit unfair, it's a little bit too hard, but it's definitely really well made, and I would recommend it. Alright, Unbound. Excellent. Probably the best Pokemon ROM hack I've ever played. The region, amazing. The story, amazing. All the artwork and the sound design, amazing. The mechanics, amazing. The mission side quest stuff, amazing. Like, this game is unbelievable compared to the rest of the competition. Like, it should honestly potentially have its own tier. It is literally that good. If you haven't played Unbound, maybe don't because it'll ruin the rest of Pokemon ROM hacks for you as soon as you play it. Like, it's so unbelievably good. Like, it has New Game Plus. Like, how do you even implement that into a Pokemon game? It's crazy to me. But yeah, Unbound, um, hands down, the best Pokemon ROM hack I've ever played. No questions. Volt White. I'm gonna go meh. So again, Volt White and Blaze Black are kind of the same thing as Sacred Gold and Storm Silver, but for Pokemon Black and White. And it's nothing really against Drayano because I think he did just as good of a job as with these games as he did with Sacred Gold and Storm Silver. However, I don't love the Unova region. The Gen 5 are definitely good games, but I think they're good enough on their own to where a improvement hack like this, it again, it kind of just feels unfair at certain points. It's definitely playable, but I don't want to say that it wasn't necessary, but it was almost like it didn't really do enough in terms of changes to be put into the good tier because most of the quality of life stuff is in Gen 5 to begin with. And I don't really enjoy Unova as a region particularly, but the Pokedex is good. And it's definitely very playable. It's definitely at the top of this tier. It's better than Quartz and Liquid Crystal for sure. But I just can't really put it into good tier. Adventure Red Chapter. Ooh, I haven't played this game in a while. Adventure Red, it's somewhere in between good and play it right now. I'm gonna put it in good, but near the top of good. Just because again, it doesn't. You know what? I'm gonna put it in play it right now. It's the weaker. It's on the weaker side of this tier for sure, but it has enough going for it that I can comfortably put it in this tier. The story, it's based on the manga. It's really, really well done. It's really true to the manga. There's a lot of cool stuff thrown in. It definitely keeps your attention. In terms of story, it's probably the best of the Pokemon ROM hacks, but I mean, it kind of has an unfair advantage. And story is not a huge thing for me when playing any video game, but especially Pokemon games. So it's at the bottom of this tier, but I still definitely recommend that you play it. Like I really enjoyed it. It had everything that I could. Sorry, everybody. I had to cut away and deal with something. Luckily, while I cut away, I kind of realized that I was missing a game from my list that I think is a very good game. But we'll get there when I get to it. You probably already noticed it because of the change in the visual when I cut. But anyway, we'll hop into Blazing Emerald now. Blazing Emerald, definitely play it right now. It has Hoennian forms, which is reason enough on its own, but it has all the quality of life updates that you could ever want. There's a huge Pokedex. It's basically an improvement hack of Pokemon Emerald with so many goodies and stuff that like I can't ignore it. Like it's one of the better ROM hacks I've ever played. Like it was so enjoyable. I really liked it a lot. Pokemon Brown, I'm gonna put into the meh tier. So, it wasn't a bad game. Um, and I would definitely consider going back to it, but I never got around to finishing it because I kind of lost motivation when I was playing it. It just didn't really hold my interest. The region was cool and the graphics were fine. I don't really think me not finishing it had anything to do with that. It was a red ROM hack, but it just wasn't really for me. If you guys think that me finishing Brown is worth my time based on like things that happen towards the end of the game, then definitely let me know. But I never really loved Brown like I loved some of these other games when I was playing it, so I just never really finished it. A lot of the same holds true for Pokemon Cops. It was a very interesting idea. It's been done a few times now, and I'm looking to play through one of these, like be a rocket grunt kind of games. But Cops was the first and only one that I've played, and it was definitely an interesting novelty. But this is another game that I just couldn't get around to finishing. It didn't really hold my interest. It was kind of just the novelty had worn off, and it wasn't really fun anymore, so I stopped playing it. But I think I would consider going back and finishing it if enough people told me that I should. Pokemon Clover, I'm gonna put it into good. I definitely, it's a meme game, which is really nice breath of fresh air. But other than like the fake mon designs and that kind of stuff and like the story, it doesn't really do anything super special. But it's super well made. It's a very funny game. Like I definitely appreciate some of the humor that's in there. Not some of it hasn't aged all too well, but it's still a pretty good game, and I feel like I would recommend it to somebody probably of a little bit more mature of an age. But that can be true for a bunch of these games. But definitely Clover in particular. It's fun, but probably wait till you're 18 to play it. Yeah. Okay. Dark Rising. I'm gonna put it into good as well. The main thing with Dark Rising kind of is the story. I'm kind of lumping all the Dark Rising games into this category. It's super difficult, but the story is pretty cool. It's kind of cheesy at times. It's kind of predictable at times, but I don't remember who the creator of the game is, but they went hard when they were making this game for sure. So I can't fault them for that. It's definitely a piece that is loved by its creator. There's a lot of effort put into it, so I won't hate on it for that. It's just not in that next category for me. Okay, so the Emerald Trash Lock. It's kind of hard to place because it was super fun, um, and it was super challenging, but it didn't. It was never meant to be anything more than just kind of Emerald, but with bad Pokemon, and you Nuzlocke it. Like it's very one dimensional. It's very one track minded. So I'm gonna put it in meh. No, I'm gonna put it in good because I enjoyed it. I shouldn't put it in meh if I didn't really enjoy it. I finished it. It was definitely a grind. But that was kind of its purpose. You don't actually have to Nuzlocke it, and it'll still be pretty difficult because the Pokemon are kind of just that bad. But shout out to Pokemon Challenges, who I believe made this game. He did a good job with what he was trying to do. So yeah, I enjoyed it. And then Prism, which was the game I had forgotten about, but I just threw in. Excellent. Play it right now. I believe it carries some of its story from Pokemon Brown. I think the creator is the same. I could be completely wrong on that, so don't at me if I well, do at me if I am, but don't get mad at me if I am. I really enjoyed Prism both of the times I've played it. There's everything you could want in one of these games. Or there's no fake mon, I guess, but the story is really good. The mechanics are really good. It's just really fun to play through. Like, it's a very enjoyable time. The trainer customization is also very standout. Like, you literally like scale the amount of red, yellow, and blue that you want. Like, it's crazy. Um, it's crazy customization, but a very fun game, and I would highly highly recommend it. So that is my list. There's not a ton of games on there. I'm sure many of you have played more Pokemon ROM hacks than me. And again, definitely let me know which ones from this, well, not from this list, I should play. You can kind of base your recommendation off of what I seem to like and dislike. I would definitely, if you had to play one of the games from this list, Unbound, play it now. It is unbelievable. It really, again, deserves to be in its own tier. But any recommendations, let me know. Any disagreements you had, obviously this is a pretty subjective list, so let me know. Liking and subscribing never hurts anybody. It doesn't. It's free. It doesn't hurt you. Doesn't hurt me. So you might as well do it. And with that, I am gonna head out. So I hope you enjoyed, and peace.